that?
in the morning.
Would you say that your creative moment is during the morning or during the night?
Creative moment?
Yeah. Or is it
I'd
always?
like to think I have more than one over the course of a day. Just
I
one
can
creative
imagine.
Moment. I don't know what I would do with the rest of the time.
Most creative.
Just tedious. Yeah, I like it in the morning until at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm kind of done.
Yeah. And that's
Maybe that's from coming
I
from
usually
school,
get
right?
going
School
around
lets out
3
around
o'clock.
3 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
She takes over from that. What time does your school stop?
3:15.
3:15. See, that's about that. And you're about ready for it to stop then?
Yeah.
Are you ready for it to stop before then?
Sometimes, yeah.
Do you stay after school doing things sometimes?
No, I try and hurry home. Best as I can.
Oh yeah. What's so exciting at home that you want to hurry towards it?
My brother not being there for 10 minutes is...
Oh, I see.
10 minutes, huh?
Wow.
That's
That's a sad story.
Perry.
What is your favorite book in the series of unfortunate events?
I think they're all awful. Do you have a favorite book in a series of unfortunate events? No? I don't blame you.
I have a favorite book.
You do?
Yes. I like The Austere Academy because I like to think about the principal with little pigtails all over his head. I think about that.
I don't think that's healthy for you. I think you should read something more cheerful.
And I
It's
also-
no wonder you have trouble getting up in the morning, come to think of it.
Like Carmelita Spatz is my favorite character.
You like a girl who's cruel to others?
I do. I like her very much. And she has one of the best insults in the world, which is cake sniffer.
Cake sniffer.
I find that a very useful insult.
I've never heard you use that.
I didn't say I used it, I said I found
Oh, you
it
found it
useful.
useful.
Lisa, I want to ask you a question about the blood drive that you're doing.
Yes.
Expound more about that.
Well, one of my events closer to Halloween is going to also be a charitable event for the blood centers of the Pacific. So it will be a blood drive. So when you go to the event, you could pledge to donate blood in honor of Bella, the vampire.
But don't
enjoy
bring
some
like
blood,
a bag
yeah.
of blood to the bookstore. It's
Yeah.
not appropriate.
No, but I thought that it's
I mean,
a
you
vampire.
probably will bring blood because you'll go.
You'll be a bag
People
of blood.
will be there and
Yeah.
and they have blood inside them. But you shouldn't get the blood out of your body and bring it in some
Yeah.
container. You should let the blood bank people do that.
But I was thinking that the blood...
Don't put it in like a thermos or a Tupperware container
Are you done?
or a Ziploc bag. I can't think of other things you shouldn't put blood in. A pillowcase. Do not put it in a pillowcase. That would just be awful. I can't believe you brought that up.
But you should definitely donate blood
Yes.
in honor of my little vampire Bella.
Or even just not in honor of it. People should donate blood because people need blood.
It's true.
And after you donate blood, they often give you a donut.
But
Not
donate.
that that's why you should donate blood, but it is a further enticement.
I believe there will be donuts at the event, although there will be not an opportunity to donate blood at the event.
Okay.
You may
It's complicated
pledge,
to go and get blood, but
pledge to donate blood.
which is kind of a promise. If you don't do it, you're a pretty awful person, I think.
Right.
If you say you're going to give blood and then you don't, and meanwhile people are dying because they need blood transfusions, and you're too selfish, and you even already had a donut, there is no lower human. Have you
Let
given-
that be a
has-
lesson.
Yes. Have any of you given blood before?
I think you're not allowed to give blood until you're a certain age.
Yeah.
That's
And
true.
weight.
I wonder what age
Also
that
weight.
is. Have you had donuts before? Of course you have.
Yeah.
Everyone's had donuts.
Donuts and donuts hole.
But a donut hole? I've never liked a donut hole. Well, yes, it's an inaccurate name, for one. And also, they're not as delicious as donuts. I think that might be for one. And then the other thing is about the inaccurate name.
Misnomer.
It's a misnomer. No, yeah, I guess it's a misnomer.
You could pretend that they had a donut and they cut out a hole in it and made it round.
That is what they pretend, but it's not true.
Wait, you can still pretend.
That really just steams you up, doesn't it?
When I think about it, it does, but I don't think about it that often. It's not like you, Vice Principal Nero, tried to get out of bed, overcome with emotion.
Barry,
Many.
more questions? Nightmare.
I have a question for Mr.
Okay.
Hanley.
Yes.
What is your fascination with the number 13?
What is my fascination with the number 13? I wouldn't say I'm fascinated with the number 13. It just seems like a nice round number that you could, for a set of something, like words or volumes of terrible things happening to young children. It just seems like a nice number.
Why did you make the series of unfortunate events so dark?
So dark?
Well, yeah, unfortunate events.
It is true that terrible things happen to them over and over again. I find books just more interesting when terrible things happen. For instance, I recently read this book, which is Henry David Thoreau's diaries when he's out in a house in the wilderness by himself. And when he's doing fine, it's not very interesting. And he says, gosh, it's quite beautiful here and calm. Thank goodness I'm in this house all by myself. It's not as much fun as the parts where he says, if I don't find some food soon, I'm going to die. That's much more interesting. So I find a story more interesting when terrible things happen in it.
These events are all from memory.
The events in a series of unfortunate events are all from memory?
Now they
I
are.
remember them,
Yeah.
that's for sure. I'm not quite sure what that question means, but I'm interested in it. You keep shaking your head no if you don't want to ask any more questions, so of course it inspires me to ask you if you have any questions.
Have you ever had a nightmare? If yes, what was it?
Oh, of course I've had a nightmare. I'm trying to think of a recent nightmare that I've had. I don't remember. Do you remember? No. Recently I was in a hotel room and I had some kind of dream and I woke up in the middle of the night and this is what was running through my head. He said he'd make me a sandwich with his own 2 hands, but I prefer salami. That's funny, isn't it? But I wouldn't call it a nightmare. But I woke up and I thought, well, that's strange, and then I went back to sleep. Do you have nightmares a lot? Yeah? I'm sorry to hear that. They're no fun. Do you wake up kind of gasping? I hate the feeling when you wake up from a nightmare and you know it's a nightmare, and then you start to drift back to sleep, but you can feel the nightmare ready to happen again. So you have to kind of get up and, wash your face or somehow distract your brain because it wants to think about that for a while. Do you have something you think about to try to ward off nightmares?
Yeah.
What is it?
My mom. She usually
Your mom?
Yeah. She usually comes in my room and she helps me think about me swimming.
Oh, she asked you to think about your swimming. That's pretty good. Because there are only a few terrible things that can happen while you're swimming. Do you swim in a swimming pool usually? Well, that's good. So then you don't have to worry about wild sea creatures attacking you in a swimming pool. But this young woman here has a cut on her eye because of swimming. So much for thinking about swimming.
Yeah.
Oh well. Now you'll have to think about, oh no, what if that happens to my eye? That won't cheer you up.
When I was little, I had a nightmare about swimming in a pool and there was a shark.
Oh dear.
It could happen.
It hardly ever happens.
But
though.
it could.
It could. What's your theory of how it could happen?
Somehow, it's a drainage theory.
Oh, it goes in through the drain.
Yeah, pipes.
Oh, because I was thinking a leaking transport truck for an aquarium.
That
And
doesn't
I'm
make
thinking,
any
oh
sense.
no, our
That would
aquarium
never
tank is
happen.
leaking. This great white shark will die. We better throw it in the first available body of water.
No.
We'll just throw it right here. Meanwhile, someone's swimming in it.
No, it's much more logical that a shark would go through the drain pipe and burst through.
I would have to
The
disagree with
filter.
you on that point. So probably argument.
With regards to doing stories together, do you see that happening in the future?
It's happened in the past, and I certainly see it happening in the future.
Sure.
I like working with him.
She seems also very nice to me.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so
Thank
much
you.
for your time.
Thanks, guys.